Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. This is your Driving in Wyoming podcast. Today we're going to talk about the 2014 Mazda 6. This is a complete redesign for the car, and Mazda really didn't hold anything back. The exterior design is very elegant, the interior is very comfortably refined, and the driving dynamics are very sporty, while the powertrain is a lot more efficient. In short, Mazda's kind of created what may be the most well-designed vehicle in the midsize sedan class to compete against very, very hard competition from the new Chrysler 200 and the Ford Fusion. I was first introduced to the Mazda 6, the 2014, the new Mazda 6, at the Denver Auto Show in 2013, and I really knew then that I wanted to drive this car. The midsize sedan segment is usually, well, it's a very fierce market, but a lot of it is really boring. Boring sells in this market for some reason, but there are standouts that look really good and still have all the other stuff the others do, and that may or may not work for them. The Mazda 6 is one of those. It's a very standout car. It's exemplary in every way, but Mazda so far has not been moving them really fast, and I think it's because boring looks sell and pretty looks just don't in this segment, not very well. But anyway, the 2014 Mazda 6 looks good from every angle. It really shines brightest in its profile because it's very, very flowing. It's a three-part design with the front is kind of low-clipped with the fascia that arches up, and then the slope into a sloping hood line, which is kind of accentuated by the curve in the fender. The arch of that curve ends at the front door of the sedan at that door seam. The roof is is a very elegant, simple arch, and the whole car itself just kind of comes together in a low coupe-like look that is just beautiful to look at. Under the hood, there's a 2.5-liter four-cylinder Skyactiv engine, produces 184 horsepower, 185 pound-feet of torque. It's a high-compression engine. It goes through a 6-speed manual or 6-speed automatic. We drove the automatic. The automatic is standard on the Grand Touring package that we drove. We also drove it with IE Loop, which is Mazda's mild hybrid system. It greatly improves fuel economy. This competes very, very well in terms of power and delivery, and it's 8 seconds 0 to 60. It competes very well with the Nissan Altima's 3.5 V6, so that's a good comparison. That's the kind of car that this car is going after. Fuel economy is beautiful. It's rated at 38 miles per gallon on the highway. It's easy to get better than that, especially with the IE Loop system. That IE Loop boosts it to 40 miles per gallon on the highway, and it is very, like I said, it's very easy to get those numbers. Mazda has promised a diesel engine for this car, but they keep putting it off. I don't know that a diesel would probably sell, but I don't think in the kind of numbers they would expect. Not in our market, but it's good to know that they're trying something anyway. Driving dynamics in this car are beautiful. It's a very, very well-handling car. That's part of the Skyactiv ideal. The whole car has that Kodo design on the outside, and then inside it's a nice, stiff but comfortable chassis. It just drives very, very well. It's a very, very good car. We had no problems getting around Wyoming in this thing. We drove it through. I took it up into the bluffs. I drove it on some dirt roads. I drove it around. I drove it all over the place, and I really had nowhere that this car was made to go that it couldn't go. It's not an off-road machine, but in 300 miles of driving, I took this car all over the country here. It looks very good also in this color of paint. You'll probably see from the pictures. On the inside, the Mazda 6 is aimed directly at the everyday driver. It's a very comfortable interior. It has nice ergonomics. It's very well laid out. You never get tired in this car. It's always comfortable, especially in this Grand Touring package. The front seats are sporty but still comfortable. They hold you in well. They're well sized and positioned. Rear seating is bigger than it looks. It's very spacious. Large people might have a little bit of knee room problem if the people in front are also tall. But that's true of any mid-size sedan. There's plenty of room in the back for 3 child safety seats if you need them. It's a good cabin layout, and then the trunk is gigantic. And in this segment, that's a requirement. Everybody wants a big trunk, and this one has a very, very large trunk. The Mazda 6 Mazda did a good job with that. So strong points for this. This is kind of a quick and dirty review, I know, but the strong points for this is it's very, very strong in style. It rivals everything in the segment, even some of the luxury vehicles that are up the market. Right now in my driveway is a Lexus IS350, and this car looks as good as that Lexus, and that Lexus is a beautiful car. Driving dynamics are very well done. It's got good interior refinement that goes with the fuel efficiency that goes with those driving dynamics. It's an all-in-one package. It's a great job here. It's something we haven't seen from a automaker in a long time. It's very rare that they hit all those points perfectly in balance. It is a little bit pricey if you go into these higher efficiency packages, and the powertrain options are limited. Right now you can only get the 2.5 liter gas engine. Base price for the Grand Touring model is just shy of $30,000. We tested it at $32,800. So it's a pricey car. Now you can get this car much cheaper than that, but you give up some of those extras. You give up the Grand Touring package, you give up the IE loop and other things, but you can get this car in the mid-20s. So if you want a $25,000 mid-size sedan that has a decent amount of stuff in it and looks really good, then you can get that with the Mazda 6. So all in all, the 2014 Mazda 6 is extremely stylish. It's very beautiful to look at and to drive. I was asked more than once by people, what kind of car is it? Because people just don't expect Mazda to make something this pretty. Most of them were convinced that it was some sort of luxury vehicle. The only negative comments that I had about this car were from people who are just Mazda haters. They didn't have anything about this car to hate. They just hate Mazda in general. And that's something Mazda has to get past, because there are a group of people that are like that. All in all, the 2014 Mazda 6 is an elegant car with just about everything you could ask for in a midsize package. Drives very well on Wyoming roads. It's a comfortable front-wheel drive setup. It's highly fuel efficient on the highway, and it's big enough to carry the whole family. Good little car here, well worth you looking at. So for the Driving in Wyoming podcast, this has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. We'll talk to you again soon.